In this video, I'm going to show you how to dropship on Amazon. This will be an actual hands-on demonstration. So I am going to start on PowerPoint just to explain a few things, and then I'm going to take you right into Google Chrome to show you how it works. My name is Mr. Mark. I'm a computer teacher. I'm a programmer. I'm an eBay seller and an Amazon seller. And this video is going to be great for anyone who's not necessarily ready to pay for a dropship course, but wants to see how dropshipping on Amazon actually works. Also, you will learn how to start dropshipping manually, which means without software, which usually costs money. And also, anyone who wants a free Excel sheet with automated formulas, which is an Excel sheet that I created and I will provide, which is going to help you manage your products. And most importantly, anyone who can watch and listen to this video in completion, and of course you can watch it in separate parts if you have to, rewind, do whatever you have to do. But it's important that you watch everything to learn as much as you can, because in this video I will show you how, number one, how to find an item to list on Amazon from Walmart. Now you can do it from any supplier, but Walmart will be the example. Number two, how to calculate profit using my online profit calculator, which I created and integrated into my website. Number three, how to list the product and keep track of it with my Excel sheet. So I mean how to actually list the product on Amazon. Number four, how to reprice your item, how to go back and check and change the price using my same Excel sheet. Now there are a few things I need to go over quickly that you need to understand in Amazon dropshipping. Number one, the items we sell are already in the Amazon catalog. Number two, each item has a unique ASIN, ASIN, which is an Amazon standard identification number. Number three, not all items on Amazon we will not be able to sell all items. Not all items can be sold. Some will require special approval. And number four, we must create a SKU, stock keeping unit, for each item we sell. My Excel sheet will do that for you automatically. I'll show you how. Number five, the seller with the lowest price usually gets the sale. That has to do with what's called the buy box on Amazon. So when someone pulls up a listing and they hit add to cart and they decide to buy that product, the person with the lowest price, or people who are within 5% of that price, they usually get the sale. So the first main thing in Amazon dropshipping is knowing how to find an item to list. And there are basically three main approaches you can use. One is you can start with the supplier, in this case Walmart, and you can actually look for an item on Walmart. And then once you find the item, search for it on Amazon. So for instance, you can just go through some of these items like home. You just go through any category. I'll go to, for instance, just randomly storage and organization. Here's drawers and carts. Alright, and you just take any item from here. Alright, let's say this one. Alright, and usually you might be looking for certain qualities. You might be looking for a certain price range or something like that. Whoops, sorry. And then you're going to take it to Amazon. Paste it here. Click search. And there you have it. The same item that is selling on Walmart is also selling on Amazon. Alright, so this is one way that you can find an item. Then you would open the item, and the next thing you need to find out, and I just want to point out my steps again. Once you find a product, you search for the product, then you have to find out if you can list the product. So I'm going to go back to Amazon. And the way you can do that, there are two ways. One way is to click the Sell on Amazon button and see what happens. Alright, so I'm going to click Sell on Amazon. And when I do, it appears that I can, in fact, sell the item. Alright, once the screen comes up, you know that you can sell it. Alright, once they ask for this information. So this item is $26.27. You want to look at the price here and kind of compare it to the price that it is here on on Walmart. All right, so that's one way to find an item. Now, another way to find an item is to start on Amazon and then search for a certain brand that your supplier sells. All right, and then once you do that, you pick an item, and then again you have to check to see if you can list the item and then see if you can find it back on the supplier site. All right, generally I kind of like this method better because a lot of times you might, I got lucky this time that this item was selling on Amazon, but sometimes you go to Walmart or another site, you find the item, and then when you check on Amazon, the item is not there. Okay, so let me show you the second method. All right, so I'm going to put this back to my regular Amazon screen. Now, one of the popular brands that are sold on Amazon is Mainstays. So I'm going to type in Mainstays. Okay, this is a very popular brand that is on Amazon and on Walmart, both. Okay, both on Walmart and Amazon. So now what you're doing is you're just looking for anything that is Mainstays brand. Sometimes they don't have the S on it, so sometimes it's Mainstay. Okay, and you're just sort of looking for an item. All right, and you're just randomly looking. All right, so for example, I see this item, okay, which is a flannel sheet set. All right, I could try that one. Okay, I could try this drawer. I have different items I could try. All right, now if you want to keep this open, you can do right click, so you can open this separately in a new tab. All right, that way you can look at this one separately. All right, and here you have it, Mainstays flannel sheet set full red plaid. All right, which is available from various sellers. Okay, so now you might click these sellers to see all the different people who are selling this and to see how much they're selling it for. Right, but first of all, I want to see if I can even find this item at Walmart. Okay, so I'm going to take the title, copy it, and then I'm going to go back to Walmart, and I'm going to search for the item on Walmart, and I'm going to see if I can find the item. So this looks like the item, so I'm going to click on it. Now sometimes the item picture is a little different from what you see on Amazon. As you can see, right, the picture is a little different. But I'm going to go back. You can see that this is a 4-piece set, and if you scroll down, the best thing to do is to scroll down, and it will actually tell you your bestsellers, rank, and no, not that, but I want the description. Sorry, the product description. So 100% cotton 4-piece flannel sheet set. All right, so you always want to check this description. This is also useful. The bestsellers rank gives you an idea of how well the item is doing. They say that anything that is below 250,000 or below is usually a pretty hot selling item. But don't let that determine if you're going to sell something. The main thing is the price. If you can get your price down, you will usually get a sale. Okay, and then this is the ASIN that we're going to need later. Okay, but the main thing is we decide, okay, this is the same item, right? I look here. It also says in this description, but I can also see from the picture that it's 4 pieces. If you look really closely, there's the biggest sheet at the bottom, and then you have another one on top of that, and then these 2 smaller ones, right? So that's 4 altogether. Okay, those might be something else, but it'll pretty much tell you what each piece is. All right. Okay, so let's just say that we're sure these two are the same item. All right, this item and so many windows, and this item. Now, that is the first step. But also, you need to make sure again that you can sell the item. So you're going to click, in this case, sell on Amazon, to see if you can sell the item, and again, you're allowed to sell it. So home items are a good category for drop shipping on Amazon because usually you do have permission to sell a lot of these kind of items. All right, these home items. So the next step in this process is calculating the profit. So you need to calculate the cost of the product from the supplier, and then you need to compare that cost to the price of the product on Amazon, because you're going to be competing with the people who are selling that same item on that same listing. So you need to compare the cost of your item to the price that they're selling it for. All right, and I'm going to show you how that works, but mainly we're going to be looking at the break even, right? We don't want Amazon's price to be below the break even for that item. However, if you get enough cash back, sometimes you may still be able to make a profit if you have cash back from cards, or if you have a cashback website, rebates and things like that. All right, and then third, we'll decide whether or not we're going to sell the product. Okay, so now what I've done to make this a little easier is I actually created a Amazon dropshipping profit calculator, because I noticed there wasn't any available that I could find. So for one, it's on my website. I'll have a link, and if you wish, you can click Control on the keyboard plus to zoom it in a little if it's too small. That will bring it in a bit closer. And the first step is to, as I said, calculate the supplier cost. So I go to Walmart. The item is $21.24. Okay, so I'll put the price $21.24, and I'm selling one set, one unit at a time, and the subtotal is then $21.24, right? It's just one. Okay, so then that brings me to the percent tax. Now, if you have to pay tax, which of course I'm sure most people do when you shop at Walmart, then you have to assume some kind of tax percentage. All right. Eventually, if you get an official business set up and all that, you can get exempt, and then you won't be paying tax. But if you're paying tax, you need to assume a number. I usually like to go with a high number, so we could go somewhere in the middle. For instance, okay, you could go with 7% on the tax, or you could even go with 10% if you really want to test the limits here. All right, so you can go with a high amount of tax, like 10%. Okay, so that will then calculate the tax from the subtotal. And now we have the shipping cost. All right, now if you don't know the shipping cost, then you're going to add the item to your cart. And once you do that, it will tell you the shipping cost. Okay, the delivery is $5.99. We'll go back to the calculator and just type in that shipping cost, which is $5.99. All right, so the total cost from the supplier is then about $29.35 on average, right? Now, for the repricing of the item. Okay, the Amazon fee is 15%, so they're going to take 15%. All right, normally, if for some reason the percent is different and you know that, you'd put a different percent here, but normally it's 15. So it determines our break-even price is $34.53 to break even. Okay, so that means that if I were to sell at this price, $34.53, that I would break even, meaning I would have zero profit. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is go to Amazon and see how much it is selling here. So I see here new 25 people. The lowest is $30.99. All right, plus free shipping. So you always want to go with this lowest price. All right, to compare yourself to that lowest price. Oftentimes the price will be here, but in this case it's this way with available from these sellers. You can open this as well to see everyone's prices, all right, to see how much they're selling it for. All right, we have $30.99. Okay, so $30.99 is the lowest. So now I'll go here and I'll type in $30.99, $30.99. All right, and it tells me that I'm below the break even. Okay, so that's not good. If you're below break even, that means that you're going to lose money when you sell it. So as you can see, the profit is -3. However, a way to deal with that, and what many people do, is they use things like cashback sites, cashback credit cards, and things like that to help create more profit. For instance, there's a cashback site you can use that gives you 10% cashback on every single purchase. All right, that site is Shop Smarter. Okay, that's one of them, shopsmarter.com. And if you search Walmart on this site, okay, they actually give 10% cashback at Walmart. All right, 10% on every single order that you do. The catch is, however, that this program costs $10 a month. However, if you're doing enough orders and you're getting all that cash back of 10% on each order, it's going to be way more than $10. You'll make way more than $10 a month. So it balances off. Now, so let's just say you have that 10% cash back. Then there's credit cards. Some people actually have a 5% cash back card for Walmart, or you might have some other kind of cashback credit card. All right. Also, there are discounted gift cards, things like that. So let's say you had an additional 2%. That still might not do the trick, but let's just say that you had an additional 5%. All right. If you're getting another 5% back, well, then there you go. Right. At this point, you'd be making some kind of profit. Right. Now, the profit is small. All right. But there would be a profit there. Okay. Now, of course, not all items are going to be like this. All right. You might be able to find some other items where you can get a better profit, but it does take time, and you may have to go through several items. All right. And take your time going through. But you also need to find as many ways as possible, even rebates, things like that, okay, in order to get more profit. Okay, you need to find other things to get more profit, especially if it's very competitive, like Walmart. Okay, now that's basically how you determine the profit. Okay, as you can see, the total profit is now 58 cents. So basically, I lose $3 at first. All right, when I first sell it, because I'm paying this much for it, and then I'm only asking for this much. They're very close. And then the fee has to come out, which is $4.65, the Amazon fee. So this is why I end up with this negative profit. But then I get cash back, which totals $3.59 with these numbers. So then that's going to give me $3.59 total. All right, so then I would balance out to 58 cents. And let me just explain one thing about cashback, or two things, right? The portal, meaning a cashback website, it gives you this percentage of cashback on the subtotal. Okay, so this percentage is on the subtotal, right? The credit card gives you the percentage on the total cost. And of course, if you're using a discounted gift card, all right, you're applying the gift card and using it to support the whole purchase. So you could think of the discount, if you have like a 2%, 5% discount gift card, that's pretty much like having a credit card cashback percent, right? So you can use that as well. All right, so you do your best to make as much profit as possible. Okay, so before we move on to the next step of the process, I did want to come back and mention that the percent tax, okay, consider the fact that this is the highest tax that you might have. A lot of times there might only be 5% tax, there may be no tax, and so this profit is going to change significantly. So I just wanted to point out that when I had 10% tax, right, of course the profit was very low, 58 cents. But look at what a difference it makes if you only end up paying 5% tax. Okay, there's a big difference. Now you have a 5% margin. So I forgot to mention that before, right? If remember, we're looking at the worst. I'm looking at the worst situation by putting 10% tax here, right? I'm looking at like the highest cost I'll ever have. All right. So again, 5% cost, it makes a big difference. Okay, and how much profit I can pull out of here. Of course, I'm still going to need cash back. Okay, I'm still going to need a portal, and I'm going to need some kind of cash back. But the fact of the matter is, the amount of tax that is paid makes a big difference. And in fact, if you have no tax, when you get more advanced and you're tax exempt, even better, right? Tax will become a very small issue, as you can see, right? With 0% tax, I'm only minus 0.89. So then by the time you add the cash back, I'm good to go, even with just the portal. Okay, so that tax percent is something to consider. Okay, and it varies from one buyer to the next, right? It depends on where they live. So the next part of the process is to actually list the product. And basically, to list the product, all right, we have to get the ASIN, which I'll show you. We also need to get the SKU of the item, and actually we have to create the SKU because this is an ID number for us, the sellers, to create ourselves. All right, and then we'll just copy the SKU in. Then we have to select the condition, which is normally new for a drop shipper. And then we have to enter our price and set the quantity. All right, so I'm going to show you how that works. All right, I will go back to Amazon, to the item, and I will click on sell on Amazon. Okay, once you click sell on Amazon, you get this screen, and it says mainstays flannel sheet set, right? Full red plaid. Okay, that's the title. Then you have the ASIN right under that. All right, and what you do is you double click and copy this ASIN. All right, why am I copying this ASIN? Because I'm going to put it right in here, which is a spreadsheet. Okay, I'm going to bring this over here. And this is how you're going to maintain a list of your products and your product information, both on the Amazon side and the supplier. So I copied the ASIN. So now I'm going to right click. I'm going to use paste special, paste values to paste the ASIN. Okay, this is a Google Sheet, by the way, right? Now the date listed is today's date, which is actually February 19th, 2020. Okay, it doesn't have the year right now, but I'll just leave it like this for now. The last update, okay, this means the last time that you checked on the item. This is for when you're going back to check the item. I'll just go ahead and put today's date for now. All right, and then the next thing is the supplier. All right, so who's the supplier? Okay, it's actually Walmart. However, instead of using the full name of Walmart, all right, what I suggest instead is an abbreviation, WAL, which is like a code, all caps. So that way you won't have the full word Walmart here in the SKU, which is being created for you. All right, and the next part is the item number. Now the item number, the link, all of this stuff we need to get from Walmart. So we go to Walmart, and I'm going to open the item, click the item, bring it back. And here, Walmart makes it very easy. Walmart number, okay, this is the item number. Every supplier has item numbers. So I'm going to copy that, then go to the spreadsheet, and right click, paste special, paste values, paste the item number. You can see how the SKU is now building. All right, the item link. Okay, I'm going to go back to the item. The link is the URL up top. All right, make sure you have the right variation first of all. Full was the variation, and buffalo red plaid was the color. Okay, it has to be exact. And then I'm going to copy this and put it up here. Right click, paste special, paste values. Actually, I may actually add another column in here where you can put the variation, because sometimes the link isn't enough. So in fact, I'm going to do that now. Insert one left. Okay, this will be the variation. I'm just going to put VA. I'll just put VAR for now, which is the variation. All right, and then for the variation, you can just type in full red plaid. If you don't need to type in that full name, but just full red is good, right? I'll put full comma red. All right, just so I know which variation. Now the unit price of the item, again from Walmart, $21.24. Whoops, $21.24 to 1.24. All right, we're only selling one unit, meaning one at a time, one set. All right, it's not a 2-pack. We're not selling 2 of them or anything like that. So one unit. So here's the subtotal. I'm going to put the tax again. Again, I'm going to go with 10%. Now you might be saying, why am I typing in these numbers when I already did the calculation with the calculator? The purpose of the numbers, of entering these numbers, is that I'm going to come back and check and reprice the item, and that way I won't have to enter all this stuff in the calculator again. You'll see what I mean later. Okay, for the card, let's assume we're getting 5%, right? And let's assume I'm getting 10% using that Shop Smarter. Okay, so here's my total cashback. The Amazon fee percent, I left that blank just in case it's not 15%, but normally it is. Now you have the break even, which is based on the cashback and the cost. The price on Amazon. What was the price that we saw? Okay, we saw $30.99. Right, I believe was the price on Amazon. Okay, so 30.99. Okay, if you can get below this guy's price, that's even better. If you can get below the lowest person, even if you can just get a little bit below, that will usually help you have a better chance of a sale. Here's the Amazon fee that's going to come out of your price. 15% of this gives you the fee, right? So the 15% of the price, this is the fee you pay. Here's your initial profit. When you subtract the original cost of the item, this is all okay you're going to have. But then when you add in the cashback, here's your total profit with the cashback on it. And like I said, all right, if the tax were less, if the tax ends up being less, which usually it will be for most buyers, you're going to make even a little more than this. Here's the margin, which is the percent, the profit percent of sale, and here's the markup, which is the profit percent of cost. Okay, now that I have all the information for this item in the Excel sheet, okay, I'm going to go ahead and continue the listing process. And what I'm going to do here is take the SKU and copy it, right click, copy. There's a formula here, by the way. Everything that's dark has a formula. And I will go back to the seller page and I'm going to paste the SKU in here. All right. If you want to type in the price now, you can do that too, or you can do it last. Doesn't matter. Okay, here's the price that I want to do, $30.99. The condition for drop shipping is usually new, unless you're drop shipping from a supplier selling used items. And then we have the quantity. The safest quantity you can put is 1. And there's a reason why I like to use 1 for the quantity, and I'll get to that in a moment. And then after that, you would click Save and Finish. Now, I don't actually want to list it. I'm just doing it for this video. But if you were doing it, you would click Save and Finish, and then you would see it would let you know that it was successful, right, and that it was listed. Okay, and that's basically the process of listing an item. So the main thing is getting the information that you need from the item and from the supplier. All right, writing it down, so to speak, or recording it somewhere, in this case using a spreadsheet. All right, and then bringing it in and putting it in here. This just the SKU mainly, the price. Now, let me talk about the quantity for a second. All right, when you list a product, I recommend 1 unless you know the supplier stays in stock all the time. And let me explain what I mean. Because let's say you were to put 10 for the quantity, and then you got an order in the morning, and let's say 10 people ordered, okay, if it's a really popular product. Let's say you don't get to try to order until the evening, right? By then, what if all 10 products went out of stock? All right, now you have a problem. You're going to have to cancel orders, and canceling orders is very bad for your account health. All right, I'd actually would like to show you my account health to see. This is a good account health. I'm not sure where this just came from. 2.56. Oh, this was a cancel order that couldn't be helped because they had the order pending. Maybe I can contact them about it for days. I don't know why. By the time the order finally came through, it already went out of stock. All right, so that was a very strange situation. Okay, but still a very low percentage here, right? 0% late shipment, 100% valid tracking. All right, so by keeping your quantities to 1, where was I? By keeping your quantities to 1, it makes it a lot easier to handle yourself at first, all right? Also, you have to make sure that you have enough money to fill the quantity. So if you set this quantity, all right, to 100, all right, and then 100 of these were to sell, you have to make sure you have enough money to go buy 100 of these and send it to your buyers. And Amazon does not pay you instantly. There's no PayPal. It's not like eBay. All right, you get paid about once every 2 weeks normally. So, you know, you would actually have to have the money to buy all 100. All right, and send it to their. So you don't want to put these high quantities, especially if you're doing it manually and you have to check the stock yourself, right? So the safest thing you can do is put a low quantity, 1, maybe 2, maybe even 3, but you have to be careful because you want to avoid canceling orders, which is bad for your account, right? You don't want to have. They say 2.5 is the target, so I'm about on the target right now, but I don't want to go above this, right? So I'm going to make sure nothing else gets canceled for a while, but that really wasn't my fault in this case, but still, right, it counts. Okay, so that's how you go about listing a product. And now we'll move into the next thing, which is going back and checking the product. You need to check your product regularly to make sure that it's in stock and record the price if it changes. All right. Now, you can do this manually yourself, but of course, it's going to be best to use software eventually. But if you're starting out and you don't want to pay for software, you can do it yourself manually. However, please make sure that you are checking the items often. I would say several times a day, maybe 2 times a day, 2 to 3 times a day if possible. All right, which is possible if you have a small number of items. And then if the items go out of stock, you will change the quantity of those items. It's very simple. There's just a little box, okay, that has the quantity, and you will just change the quantity from 1 to 0. All right, so make sure you do that. Now, I'm going to show you how you can reprice and recalculate the profit of the items yourself. All right, doing it manually by using the spreadsheet. So let's say I have the same item that we just listed from Walmart, and let's say I check the item tomorrow. All right, if I check it again tomorrow is going to be February 20th. So I'll put February 20. I'm going to put this date. This date lets me know the last time I checked, right? And the supplier is still the same. Everything's going to be the same, but I have this link that I can click on, right, which will bring me right back to the item. Then I can see, is the item out of stock or not, right? I go to the variation, full red. I see, oh, it's still in stock. I see the price is the same. Then I don't have to change anything. But let's just pretend for a second that the price did change. Let's pretend the price went up to $23, for instance, right? Just a little slight price change. All right, well, if the price went up to $23, then we'd have to put a 23 here where it says unit price. And that would change our cost, which would then change our profit. So then we'd have to come over here, okay, and see how our profit is looking. Now I'm losing money, right? Which means now my price needs to go up, right? So you see my break even is higher. So now I'm going to have to charge more for the item. All right. All right. I may need to charge $34. I'm just making up an example, and that's my total profit now. Okay, $1.47. However, another thing I would want to do in this case is I would want to go and check the other sellers, right? So I want to go back to the listing and kind of see, have they changed their price since the price changed? And probably they will change their price if they're drop shipping. All right, but if they're not, then they won't. So now you go here, and I have an automated link which will automatically, okay, once you put the ASIN in here, this will automatically bring you back to the item on Amazon, this link, right? You click that, and here's the item on Amazon. And once you go here, you're going to do the usual, these sellers or whatever, wherever you can go to get the price. And you're basically just going to compare the price to see if there's a new low price. Perhaps the new low price is $35, right? You never know. Okay, if the new price is 35 and then yours is 34, all right, you will more likely get the sale, all right? At least some of the time you'll get the sale. All right, so that's basically how you reprice. It's just a matter of coming back to the spreadsheet, clicking the link, all right, checking to see. And quite honestly, prices don't change. I mean, you know, it really depends on the supplier, but prices don't change all that often from what I've been seeing, at least. on Walmart. They don't necessarily change all that often, but they do change. But I feel like a lot of times prices often go down as well, right? Because you have items that are at their regular price and then they go on clearance eventually. So oftentimes you have a price drop, right? The thing I'm more concerned about is the quantity. I'm concerned about the price change, but the thing I'm most concerned about is the stock. Because if the item goes out of stock, then I have to cancel. Okay, and I don't want to cancel. All right, if the price goes up and I lose like $1 or $2, that's okay. I don't mind losing a little bit of profit, okay, here and there. That's okay. What you don't want is to cancel, because it's bad for your account and you don't want to get suspended or anything like that. All right, so this is how you can reprice manually. But again, I advise using eventually, okay, imagine if you have like 30 items to check. Okay, every day, that's going to become a pain in the neck. All right, so eventually you want to invest in some software. It's going to be worth it for the peace of mind. All right, I have a software that I'm using now, which is quite inexpensive. And I have a video actually where I talk about that software. Now in this video, I didn't actually show you how to set up a seller account or how to create one. You can only have one Amazon seller account. It's not like eBay. All right, Amazon actually ask for like real ID. Okay, so your social and all of that. So it's not like eBay. So basically, I did want to point out though that your shipping settings are going to be important, and just wanted to let you see what that looks like. Another thing to help avoid cancellation, or not so much cancellation, but late shipments, all right, is that give yourself as much time as possible. So when you set up your account, it's better to pick like a longer transit time, like 4 to 8 days. That gives me more time in case something goes wrong at the supplier and the shipping takes longer than I expect. All right, so and then there's another page where you set the handling time. You also get to determine where you want it to go. Basically, I believe I must have said no PO box, right? Stuff like that. So these are pretty much all the other states, right, that it goes to, right? So that I ship to, rather. All right, so that's another thing. All right, you're gonna have shipping settings, you're gonna have return settings, you're gonna have all the stuff. But really, the purpose of this video was really just to show you how dropshipping actually works, not to show you actually how to set up the account. Okay, that's another thing. If you really need help doing that and doing everything from scratch, then I might recommend taking an actual dropshipping course. I actually took a course to learn how to do Amazon dropshipping because my experience in selling had primarily just been selling on eBay, selling used items out of my home on eBay, textbooks and things like that, right? So I didn't really understand this process. So I did take a course in it. So that's something you can think about doing. Or you can just go ahead, go to sellercentral.amazon.com, set up your account, just go through the steps and try to figure it out, try to figure out your shipping settings, figure out your return settings. If you read through it, I think you can pretty much figure it out. And I just wanted to briefly mention the getting paid part of Amazon. All right, Amazon does pay on a bi-weekly schedule via direct deposit to your bank account. However, after you prove yourself worthy, so to speak, your payments eventually become available 7 days after the delivery date of the item. So if you get a bunch of orders today and they deliver a few days from now, 7 days after they deliver, they want to make sure the buyer's happy. That payment then becomes available. All right. However, you then have to request the payment by clicking the request payment button, and then according to Amazon, it takes 3 to 5 business days, but it's usually shorter. I mean, I get it in like 2 business days, but they always say 3 to 5 business days to transfer the money to your bank account. But it might take about 3. But I've never experienced 5 business days. All right, so it's definitely, I think they're just giving themselves time, right? So payments will take about 3 to 5 business days. So this is something to keep in mind when you're selling on Amazon, is that you don't have the money available right away. right, when you get paid. Okay, so you have to make sure you have enough, and that's why I was talking about keeping the quantity low. You need to make sure you have enough money to fill the quantity that you're putting on your store, right? So if you have, like, 20 items and you're putting that you have 10 of each item, if they start selling like crazy and you can't fill those orders, that's what gets people into trouble and gets, causes people to get their account suspended. People say, oh, drop shipping gets you suspended. I don't think it's really so much drop shipping gets you suspended. It's the things that people do when they drop ship that get them suspended, if you know what I mean. So it's the mistakes people make, put in too much quantity when they really don't have the money. They can't fill the orders, using a supplier that cancels too much, that's not reliable. Walmart is very reliable. That's what I like about Walmart. It's high competition because everyone is using it, but it is very reliable. All right, so these are some different factors, things I want you to think about as you pursue drop shipping on Amazon. So I hope you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching. Thanks for checking it out. I will provide links to the resources such as the Excel sheet that I used in this video, a link to the calculator, anything else I can think of that might be useful to you, cashback sites, anything. So just check the description of the video. I don't even know what links will be there yet because I'm just creating the video now, but I will put links to anything that I can think of that is useful. Also, you will probably subscribe to my site in that process, and all that means, by the way, is just that when you drop your email in the box on my site, it will automatically, I use an autoresponder, it will automatically send you the links to the resources, to the Excel sheet or whatever you need. Then all I will ever do is when I update it and I make improvements or I have a new version, I will email you and tell you. Or if I have a new video, I will email you and tell you so that you can know about it. That's all that is for me to inform you. However, you can also subscribe to the channel, and that way you will get notifications, right? If you click the bell next to subscribe to make sure you get the notifications. And that's pretty much it. I hope this was helpful. Look, any comments, suggestions, I love comments and suggestions, feedback. It really helps me out with the resources I'm creating, and to know what's good, what people like, what they don't like. So feel free to leave comments and suggestions. Thanks for watching, and take care.